Okay, boys, are you there? Here's Shubham Yadav. Sorry,
Good afternoon, sir.
yeah. Okay, I would like to see a lot of noise in your house.
Yeah.
Okay, Shubham Yadav, how many marks you got? Shubham, can you hear?
Good
Right,
afternoon, sir.
Gopal? Good afternoon. Who is that?
Nazir, sir. Sir.
Nazir, how many marks you got?
31.
31. On border. Pass
Yes,
on
sir.
border. Very good. Next time I don't want that. Minimum
Yes.
41.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. Sahil, can you hear me? Okay, only 7 boys are there. When we are stopping 10 minutes back, somebody wanted to ask some question. Ask now. Somebody is asking question when we stop. What was the question?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. What was the question? Somebody wanted to know something, and I said at 12:30. How many boys are there?
15.
16.
16. Okay. Now it's already 3 minutes. Let's start. So you understood what is International Maritime Organization, right?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay. Now, as I told you, these organizations make various sets of rules and keep amending them, improving them, adding them, deleting them as and when required. There are various rule books are there. The most important rule book, which you can say Bible for us, mariner, is known as what?
ROR.
No.
Solas.
Known as SOLAS Convention.
Marpol.
Yeah, MARPOL is also there, but first SOLAS. SOLAS is at least 30-40 years older than MARPOL. MARPOL came after 40 years. SOLAS was initial. SOLAS deal with the safety of life, whereas MARPOL deals with the safety of environment, protection of environment. So they are two different subjects, right? So who want to read this?
May I, sir?
Go ahead.
Okay, sir.
SOLAS
Yes,
or
yes.
safety of life. Excuse me, sir.
First say your name and start reading.
Sir, myself Ram Pravesh Thakur, sir.
Okay, Thakurji, chalu pado.
Yes, sir. SOLAS or safety of life at sea conference was held in 1914 after the sinking of White Star liner Titanic. This convention stressed the importance of proper life-saving appliances for safety of lives of crew, passenger on ships and safe construction of ship. Subsequently, repeated conventions have been held and presently the 1974 convention with necessary amendments is in force.
Okay. Now the primitive solas came in existence in 1914. That time IMO was not existing. But when IMO was established after Second World War, after UNO was established around 1948, they started amending the solas, and what we see now is the amended version of solas, and it came in force in 1974. So it is like Bible for mariners. It talk about everything, whatever happens on ship, you find a reference in solas. It may be a firefighting, life-saving, cargo loading, construction, nuclear vessel, garbage management, ISM, ISPS, you name it. The origin is solas. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So timing, if you know this much about solas, good enough. And slowly when we start referring to solas now and then, we'll come to know more and more. So I'm proceeding further.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I didn't get, sir, about SOLAS, sir. Can you explain once again?
How much you got?
Sir, I'm knowing about SOLAS that on when the ship is going through the oceans or a sea, we have to maintain a safety that we have to maintain our cleanliness around the ship or around the oceans. Because of it, it might be get problem to a ship while traveling to a ocean. It might be get sinking like this.
Okay. You got very scanty information, not absolutely correct. Okay, I'll tell you what is solas. You know what is IMO now, no?
IMO, I am knowing, sir.
Okay. Now IMO, there are 178 member nations are there, and their representative sit in London. They keep discussing for the safety of ship what should be there. And with that, they came out with the rule book, which is known as SOLAS, Safety of Life at Sea. And presently, what is going on is 1974 version of SOLAS. And they keep amending. As I think new things came. In 74, radars were not there. EGDIS was not there. Lot of AIS was not there. So as and when the new equipment started coming, they kept adding in this book. So anything you do on ship, people master, it may be a master, it may be a superintendent, it may be a surveyor, it may be a cadet or seaman. You have to refer to the SOLAS book and see what you're doing it correctly or not. And master and all, they know it by heart, what is the SOLAS requirements. And when surveys come for carrying out port state control or flag state control, they check with the SOLAS whether you're meeting SOLAS requirement or not. So the various requirements are there. Like firefighting, they tell you how many fire extinguishers should be there, how many fire hoses should be there, fire nozzles, life jackets, lifeboats, you name it and it is there. Fire pumps, how many radars should be there. how many compasses should be there, when to correct Polaris. Polaris is a what? Polaris is nothing else but the azimuth mirror. So don't go in detail. There are 1,000 equipment. They're listed in SOLAS. And after spending 5-6 years at sea, you will know by heart all these 1,000 equipments. Got it?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir. You can move forward.
So it is just a rule book, which when they amend or make it, they give it to all 178 government, and then those government, they get it passed through their parliament, and then it become a law. Like whatever comes in SOLAS to Government of India, they will try and incorporate in Merchant Shipping Act, and then there will be a fire rule, LSA rules and all that. They will become a mandatory, compulsory. Okay, next. So this is SOLAS Convention, Safety of Life. The next book you have to know is the ISM. Any doubt? Okay, any volunteer for reading other than Chaudhary?
Okay, sir.
May I, sir?
Yeah. Say name and start reading.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please show
Uh,
previous slide.
What happened? You're sleeping or what?
Sir, can I read?
No,
Anyway,
sir, some
somebody.
network issue.
Okay, now tell me when you finish.
Completed, sir.
Thank you. Okay, who is reading? Say your name and start
Yes,
reading.
sir. Yes, sir.
Who is that?
My name is Sahil Wangankar, sir.
What?
Sahil Wangankar.
Okay, Vangankar. Good.
International Safety Management, ISM code. ISM or International Safety Management Code is a code aimed at ensuring that ships are properly managed and operated. The objective stated clearly in the code are to ensure safety at sea, prevention of human injury or loss of life, and avoidance of damage to the environment, in particular to the marine environment and to property. The ship owner or other person with responsibility for the operation of the ship must develop, implements and maintain a safety management system which includes a safety and environmental protection policy and ensure compliance and mandatory rules and regulations.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
good. Thank you. Now see, the when SOLAS was there, that is says up to 1980-85, ship owner had no responsibility. All responsibility was lying on the master. Ship master. Anything goes wrong, ship master is responsible. Any accident, ship master is responsible alone, nobody else. But then they realize that the ship owner is more responsible than the master. So, because the ship owner use money, use direction, use order, and master obeys the order of the ship owner. Then they saw a lot of accidents are taking place, a lot of mishaps are happening. Then they thought, other than SOLAS, in addition to SOLAS, they require one more code. So this code, International Safety Management Code, is started from the SOLAS itself. There is one chapter in SOLAS. There it is mentioned that ISM code to be followed. And they came out with a new book, which is known as International Safety Management. So the full management is taken into account. Only earlier, only vessel used to be considered as a unit. Now, after introduction of ISM, the shipping company is considered as a unit and ships are subunits. So full management has come under preview of law. So ship owner has become responsible under ISM. Now, earlier the surveys used to be carried out on ships only. Now, surveys are also carried out in the owner office. They come and check their records, check the how many accidents have taken place, how many people are coming new, how the training is given to the crew member. So all those requirements come under ISM. And idea is to ensure safety at sea, prevention of human injury or loss of life, and avoidance of damage to environment, in particular to marine environment. So that para in between, ensure till property is important, that defines what the ISM does. Got it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
So now
Sir, got it.
after ISM, the ship owner is also as responsible as the master. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Next, very good. Immigrate. Now, so far we are looked after the international regulations like Merchant Shipping Act, IMO, SOLAS, ISM. Now, next 3-4 slides, we are going to talk about the port formalities. The word port formality is not here, but you can write down port formalities. Got? Did you get the word?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Port formality.
Okay. So whenever ship closes in port or sails out from any port, you have to complete certain formalities, certain procedure. So most important formality is the immigration. Whenever ship goes in port, the first people to come on board is what? The immigration
Can you
officer.
repeat?
Immigration officer will come on ship on arrival. Nobody else will allow to board. He will see how many people are there. All the travel documents will be checked by the immigration officer. See that everybody has a valid passport. And he will say that there is nobody is hiding on ship, which is known as the stowaways or unauthorized person. Sometime old days, master and all things, they used to carry people unauthorized without passport from one country to other countries. So, and they used to run once the vessel come in, say Canada or America, those hiding people used to get down and go away in town. So to control that, the immigration authority will come and check everybody, people and their travel documents. And when he's satisfied, then he will give the inward clearance. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, when the vessel depart, when vessel about to go, again the last fellow will come on board, is the immigration officer. And you will see all people on board, nobody has ran away. And then he will check all the document again, and then he will give the clearance, which is known as outward immigration clearance. He also issues shore pass to the people. On arrival, he say, okay, you want to go out? Your ship is going to stay for 3-4 days. He will give you pass. Without pass, no foreigner can go out even for 1 minute or 5 minutes. So that is the duty and responsibilities of immigration officer. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The
Yes, sir.
second formality will come to dock safety afterwards. Second most important formality is the port health. At immigration is boarding more or less at the same time, port health officer will come on board. Before arrival, captain has to give a declaration saying that everybody is healthy, there is no disease, there is no fever, nobody is having any illness, then only vessel is allowed to come in. And if somebody has any fever or something, then vessel will not be allowed to come in, then vessel will get quarantine. Like nowadays you have to do 14 days quarantine and all that. So that time also malaria, flu, typhoid, any yellow fever, any patients were on board, vessels were not allowed to come in. So master declares everything is okay, then vessel comes in and along with immigration, the hotel, this a doctor will come on board and check that master has not lied and all people are healthy. At random, we'll take the temperature, see the condition of people. Okay, so not only the condition of people, we'll check the vaccination book, that everybody is given a proper vaccines, inoculation. We'll check the food, whether it's a healthy food on board. They are not eating rotten food. Fresh water is in good condition. We'll check the galleys where the food is cooked. Where you eat the food, see that there is no cockroaches, there is no rats. And all ships have to maintain the rat lock. In that every day you have to write. You have to keep the traps with the cheese or whatever. And next day you have to write no trap, rat was found in the trap, means ship is free of rat. If they find rat, then you have to carry out the, what do you call? You have to kill the rat by fumigating vessel or putting a rat poison. So the doctor come and check that. He checked the DRAT certificate. Pardon?
What is rat log?
Rat log
Yes,
is a
sir.
notebook. Log is a logbook. This is for rat, special logbook is there. They will write how many traps were put, how many location, whether any rat was found, and sign it. So that record what is kept is known as the rat log. Okay.
Rat guard, sir.
Rat guard
Yes.
is a simple device. When you tie up the ship to the shore, you pass on the ropes, right? I shown you headline, press line.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
It is a type of metal shield.
So,
Type
so
shield.
the rats
is
from
on jetty.
offshore from jetty can come on ship. To prevent them from
Yep.
coming on ship, you put that thing on the rope so they cannot enter the ship. That is known as a rat guard. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now every ship has to carry one more certificate, which is known as a derating or the exemption certificate. Derating exemption certificate. Means what? Every 6 months, port health officer will come on board, see all the compartments, check for the rat droppings. And because that is, you will not see rat. Even if you see the rat dropping means there are rats hiding. Then you have to go under fumigation. But he doesn't find anything, everything is clean, then he will give a derating certificate. No rat on board. And that is valid for 6 months. Every 6 months you have to keep renewing it. That is done by the doctor. Got it?
Yes, sir.
The doctor also check the medical hospital and medical store on board. Second officer is normally in charge and ship carries a lot of medicines. So doctor will make sure that you don't carry expired medicines. You got right amount of medicine. There is no shortage. Hospital is clean without any issues. All those things will be checked and then you will get an inward clearance by the doctor. So that is the second part of the port formality. Before ship is allowed to work cargo, all these things happen. Similarly, before departure, also a doctor may come and check the food, whether you have received proper food for the next voyage, your water is enough for the next voyage, and then he will give the outward clearance. So first was immigration, second is port health. What is the third?
IMO.
No, IMO got nothing to do with port formalities.
Immigration.
Immigration is first, port health is second. What is third?
Sir, galley mushroom.
Pardon? What you said?
Dog health.
No. Third is customs. Then the custom people will come board. Once the portal gives the clearance, all are healthy, then customs officer, rummaging gang will come. Their duty is to see that you don't smuggle anything, you don't have the currency, you don't have the drugs, you don't have the what do you call unauthorized goods, whatever you have declared, you don't have excess whiskey, cigarettes, and all that. Because you may have intention to carry whiskey, cigarette, and smuggle it in that country. So because you get cheaper in duty free, so you sell it. So they make sure they check all cabins, all areas, and see that vessel has having only legal things. Every person before entering the port, he has to give a declaration and sign it, saying that I got so many dollars, so many rupees, so much gold, so much whatever valuable electronic goods. You have to declare it. And if the custom find anything excess of it, then it is confiscated and you are fined individually. And whatever extra they find, they put it in wind locker, seal it. It is known as the bond locker. So once they seal it, nobody can open it till vessel departs, or the custom come again and open it. So once custom checks everything, he gives the inward clearance. Similarly, when before selling, they will come again and see that, like, you are not allowed to import without authority, you are not supposed to export also. So they will say certain countries get something cheap, so we are not carrying it because anything you carry, you have to pay a tax. And when they find everything clean, they again give the outward clearance. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So these three authorities are most important. Without them, nobody can come on board. When they finish immigration, portal and custom, they give a green signal for other to come on board. Any doubts so far?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. After all these three, the last fourth one is the dock safety. Before you start a cargo work or people from outside are allowed to come on board, the dock safety inspector will come and check gangway. You know what is gangway?
The ladder which we joined to board on ship.
Correct. And the gangway should have the safety net. I'll show you movie tomorrow or something. There you'll see what is gangway and safety net is. So you will check that. Because the gangway is not safe for people to come, it is slippery, oil, broken, then he will not allow people to come on board. Then he will say safe passage on deck. He will take a round of deck and see nothing broken, nothing falling down, all okay, no oil, no water. People should not sleep on deck. So he will check that. Then he will check the cargo hold ladders for going down. Same thing, nothing broken, all intact. Then we will see if it is a night, you have proper lighting for the gangway, deck and cargo hold. Then he will also check the cargo gear, means cranes and derricks. You know what is derrick and what is crane by now?
Yes, sir.
Knowing, sir.
You know, na? Anyway, I will show it again tomorrow in picture book.
Yes, sir.
Video clip. So whether derricks or crane, you maintain another register logbook, which is known as the chain register. So this logbook contain all the entries regarding cargo gear, that is regarding cranes and derricks. When it was tested, when wire was renewed, what is the safe working load, whatever. So the dock safety inspector will come and check you have a complete entry, all entries in register. He will carry out the visual inspection of the cargo gear. If you find something broken, something not good, he will say, don't use this carry or crane, and right. And some
Yes.
port, this you have to take a hot work permission from the dock safety. If you want to do some welding or gas cutting, you have to inform them. The inspector will come and check whether it's safe to carry out hot work. Generally, it consists of welding and gas cutting. If it is okay, all firefighting is available, he will give permission for that day to carry out hot work. Any questions so far? For this finishing one part of
No,
the...
sir.
So you know the four formalities when you enter the port. What are those four formalities in proper sequence?
Immigration,
Yeah,
port health,
yeah,
Immigration, port health, custom, and dock safety.
very good. Without their permission, nothing can be done on the ship. So can I move to next
Sir,
subject?
seafold access, sir. Sir,
Pardon?
third point, sir. Third point. Third point, sir.
Safe
Seafold
full
access.
access. Safe full access. See, for going down from deck to the cargo hole, their ladders are provided. Cargo hole ladders. They are known as
Yes, sir.
SSS. Device to climb down a climber. So it's something like a ladder. It's a ladder, in fact, steel ladder. Or the staircase.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other
Okay,
doubt?
sir. No, sir.
Okay, next point. Next subject. Next subject is very interesting, and that is known as AOA, Articles of Agreements Rules. So what do you think this is? This is nothing to do with the ship, port, IMO. This is something to do with you and the ship owner. What is this?
Contract for joining ship.
like a contract. Contract. for
Contract.
working on the
Personal
ship.
contract for joining ship.
Contract
Agreement or contract.
is a sort of appointment
Contract.
letter. Okay, so whenever you join the ship, you have to make sure that the ship owner agrees to the certain terms and conditions, and whatever you agree between yourself and the ship owner, it is put on paper and it is signed jointly, not only by you but also for the ship owner. So they come in contract. So when you do something like this, it is always done in presence of the shipping master. The shipping master has to make sure that you are not cheated by the owner. And also he has to make sure that seamen don't cheat ship owner. They sign contract, then go on ship and sleep they refuse to carry out work. So in that it is specified. First thing, your name, your passport, CDC details are there. Then there will be ship owner name, register office address, and whatever identification. Then it says for how many months you are joining, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. That time will be there. There will next important entry will be what are the wages he is going to pay per month. Then next one, he will agree what food is going to give you. Then allotment. If you want to do any allotment, you can write there. He sent 5,000 rupees to my wife, father. That may be there, may not be there. Allotment is not that important. Sometimes it's a separate letter also. So then there is something like collective agreement. The seaman union make the agreement and that. So instead of producing full agreement, just take your reference. Also refer, also other terms and conditions as per the collective bargaining agreement, sign on so and so date. Means that full agreement is incorporated in your article of. So he will also say he will bear all the cost in case you sign off in foreign port. Then also there will be a clause in case you want to sign off. Ship owner don't want to sign you off. You sign contract for 9 months and you want to come home within 3 months. Then there will be a clause there saying that if you come early, then all the cost of travel you'll have to pay. Not only your travel. So when you are sent home from New York to Mumbai, somebody has to fly from Mumbai to New York. Then you have to bear the cost of that fellow also. So unless the reason is good enough, it is very expensive to break the contract in foreign country. But of course, if it's genuine reason, somebody is serious, somebody dead in family, ship owner may consider. Okay. So this
Yes.
contract is known as the article of agreement. To be signed and detail entry I already told you. And this agreement is signed on 5 original copies. Why 5 copies? Because all interested party must have one copy. So the first original will go to the master of the ship. He will keep it on his record. Second original for you, for the seafarer. You must remember this. Take a photograph you have not taken. Third one, for the shipping master. For shipping master also signing it. You are signing in his present. At the time of joining, he will keep 1 copy in his office as a record. So tomorrow, you can make some changes. Ship owner can. So 1 copy is always with shipping master so that nobody can make any changes. The 4th one goes to the ship owner. And the last copy, 5th, after you sign off, again you have to sign that yes, I have no complaint, everything was properly done. Then that is known as a signing off. So actually, original 5 should be in place of original 3. So that happens, you sign on first. And original 5 should be after signing off for shipping master. Just make that changes. Got it? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the distribution of originals, I didn't get about this.
See, when you sign the agreement, you sign 5 copies, 5 original, no photocopies. Not that you sign 1 copy and 5 photocopies. There are 5 original copies are there. And each copy is given to the different person. One is for the master of the ship, one is for yourself, and third one is for the owner. So far clear?
Okay, sir.
And last 2 copies. One, after signing on, that copy goes to the shipping master, wherever Mumbai, Calcutta, Chennai, wherever you're situated. And it is kept in shipping office so that master or the owner or you should not make any amendment there. So if shipping master catches with any amendment, that particular party will be at fault. And the last copy, after you sign off from the ship, you have to sign again saying that I was released, I came back, and that last copy again goes to the shipping master. So that these 2 copies at the time of the joining and after sign off leaving, shipping master know the contract has been discharged properly, there was no problem. So that record is with shipping master for many years. Now you got it?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any
Yes, sir.
other
Yes, sir.
doubt? No doubt.
No, sir.
Only exam
No,
to
sir.
lot of doubts are there.
Oh,
Okay, next. Okay. Now the third original copy is important. Third of original copy had gone to shipping master after you sign on. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now shipping master take photocopy of third original. 3 Xerox, 3 copies for further distribution. So one copy goes to the Seaman Provident Fund Department because your Provident Fund is being deducted once you join the ship. Second copy of the Xerox copy goes to Seafair Welfare Fund. When we saw the DG structure, these offices were there, no? Seaman Provident Fund Office, Fund Department, SPFD, Seafair Welfare Society Fund, SWSF, right?
Yes, sir.
So they get,
Yes, sir.
and third Xerox copy of original is given back to the owner, saying that the required copies are given to the Provident Fund and the Welfare Fund. So that goes back to the employer again. So first slide was the original 5 copies. These are the photocopies of third original. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Very good. Next. This slide should have been the first slide. So article of agreement, this is a contract between the employer and the employer agents and the seafarer. It is a 2 pages document. That depends. If font is big, it can be more, but say 2 pages document. This slide is simple. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Got it? Okay. This I told you first only. Take a photograph. What are the entries are made are given here. But I am not going to read it. We have already told you. Detail of employer, detail of ship, detail of employment agent with manager, detail of what capacity you're going. Are you going as a master or are you going as a AB or the tennis seaman? That will be written in the article of agreement. Then signature with date and stamp of employer or agent, date and place of signing on and the signing off. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Clear. Okay. Now 15, there is no time to read it. So tomorrow morning we'll start from here. And any doubt is there? Come now. 1 minute.
No, sir.
I
No, sir.
an exam with unsatisfactory results, so you must be quite nervous, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
next time you'll study better. And 30 seconds you have to answer. Questions are very easy. What is copper? 10 pipe. Without looking at option, the 10 pipe should come in your mind. Okay.
So one question, that is